Hello everyone and welcome to The Good Old Gamer. So are you an RX 580 or GTX 1060 owner looking for a possible upgrade at a reasonable price point this generation? Well, according to AMD, keep on waiting, keep pounding that sand because it's not going to be happening. The leaks for the RX 6600 XT have come out. The performance targets, the pricing, we have pretty much all the information we need to judge this card a few days before it's officially announced. So that's what we're going to be talking about here today in this video. Before we get into it, if you like videos like this, please smash that like button. Please subscribe, please share with friends. That really does help out the channel. And if you'd like to support even further and speak with me directly over on Discord or ask questions on the Techonomics podcast and gain access to the After Hours Techonomics podcast where Paul and I just kind of shoot the shit, you can go ahead and do that by clicking the little join button down below or the Patreon link in the description. Alrighty guys, so we're just going to start with the big thing. The RX 6600 XT coming in with an MSRP of $379. Now, Celso thought it was going to be $399. Paul got it right, $379. And I was like, there's no way that they're going to go above $349. So I was actually on the most conservative side here, and I was completely wrong. Now, you might be thinking, well, who cares? You know, it's all about the performance, right? Sure, you know, $379 card if it's as fast as something like a 3060 Ti, which is about 10% slower than a 2080 Ti, that'd be fine, right? 20 bucks cheaper, basically the same card. Well, it's not. That's the problem here. The leaks and rumors that we've had that this is basically going to be an RX 5700 XT level GPU were dead on accurate. So AMD themselves seem to be saying that it's going to be 10 to 15% faster than an RTX 3060. Now, the RTX 3060 is only 10% faster than a 2060. If you add another 10 to 15% on top of that, you're basically at the RX 5700 XT 2070 Super level. So performance is exactly where we figured it was going to be. And the pricing now no longer makes any sense. As I just said, compared to something like an RTX 3060 Ti, which is going to be about 10 to 20% faster than this card, for 20 bucks more, I don't get it, boys. I don't understand what AMD is thinking here. Even compared to something like the RTX 3060, that's coming in at $50 less, MSRP of course, and it's got 4 more gigs of VRAM for 10 to 15% slower. And it's Nvidia, and you get DLSS and all of the other cool stuff that Nvidia does on their features. Now, we can argue that AMD's getting better with their feature set, absolutely, but Nvidia's still better. More VRAM, cheaper, slightly slower. I mean, you can kind of see why this card does not make sense at this price point. It's sandwiched in between just better options from Nvidia, and I honestly never thought I would see the day where AMD would launch a GPU that would make Nvidia's pricing look good. And they've just done that here. Nvidia's pricing is good compared to AMD's. Now, you guys know that I'm a fan of the 3060 Ti at $399 MSRP. That's actually a pretty decent card. Not really a big fan of the 3060, but AMD just made that thing look like a great deal with this 6600 XT. So I'm almost flabbergasted here. Now, even more interesting, gets even better. There's a little extra tidbit here. AMD is positioning this card, basically a $400 card. I'm going to call it a $400 card. $379 to me is $400. We're just rounding up. They're positioning this as a 1080p card here in 2021. Probably a premium 1080p card, but a 1080p card, 2021, $400. In what world does that make sense? So I want to go ahead and go over a little bit of history with you guys on 1080p cards, where we got to and how much ground we have actually lost. All right, so jumping on over here to Tech Power Up. Remember the GTX 970? This guy came out September 19th, 2014. So that's coming up on 7 years now. And this launched at $329. This was considered a premium 1080p card when it came out. 1080p was still a good resolution when this was around. 1440p was kind of like the super high res. Nobody was really doing 4K at the time. But anyways, it was $329. And if you were a 1080p gamer, this was really the card that you wanted to go with. Now, fast forward a couple of years, we got the Radeon RX 480. This launched June 29th in 2016. So that's over 5 years ago now. And this came in They have 229 listed, but that's for the 8GB model. If you guys remember, they were touting the RX 480 4GB model, which was basically a competitor to the GTX 970, but coming in at only $199. That was the big thing. It was a $199 awesome 1080p gaming GPU. That was the marketing. That's all they were really talking about. 1080p, high, performance gaming, $199. Now here in 2021, they're going to be pitching $400 1080p gaming. So we're talking double the money, same resolution, same fidelity graphics. This is a huge step backwards, guys. And I don't think a lot of people think of it in that perspective. They'll just line it up to everything else. It doesn't make any sense compared to either 3060 either. So I have no idea what AMD is doing with this generation. It's very clear to me that they just simply don't care about gaining market share. They don't care about proving to us as people that have supported them over the years that our support was warranted, as they would continue to offer very good value products in the sub $400 market. I mean, hell, I would take this thing at $299 and I'd be just fine with that. That's $100 more than the RX 480 came out at. And I think most of us would be just fine with that. That accounts for things like the inflation, the increased shipping, all of the extra nonsense bullshit arguments that a lot of people will come up with. An extra $100 should satiate that. Yeah, it has more VRAM, but we're talking 5 years later. I mean, it's not really a big deal. 8 gigs today is what 4 gigs was in 2016. So to me, that's not that big of a thing. So yeah, $299, I don't think anybody'd have too much of a problem with this. Personally, I would have let it slide at $329 because of the RTX 3060. This card will be faster than it, has less VRAM, but if it was the same price, that to me is a fair trade-off. More performance, more VRAM, your choice. That's cool. That would have been fine. $1 above $329 MSRP means this card is stupid. And considering we're talking about $50 more than that, and we're only talking about $300-400 graphics cards, $50 is a decent price jump. That's a huge premium that AMD just simply can't get away with. I think these cards are personally going to just rot on shelves. We know the AIBs are going to throw on their $100, $200, $300 AIB tax on top of this, so the real MSRP is going to be probably $600, $650. If you get lucky, you might be able to find one for $500, $550. But the point here is once the mining craze finally dies off over the next 6 or so months and GPUs return to normal, this card is forever going to look stupid next to the Nvidia cards. Because I'm personally right now telling you, if you're even considering this card, just wait. Wait for the 3060 Ti's to come back in stock and buy that. Or wait until Nvidia does a super refresh and maybe they'll give you more performance at $399. That'd be cool too, but realistically, this card makes no sense for anyone and really just tells us, as the people that have supported the company over the years, buying their products when they made sense, screw you guys. We're out to make maximum dollars. They don't care about market share. They don't care about customer loyalty. They don't care about anything but the almighty dollar. And unfortunately, this is such a short-sighted mentality that I think this is really going to hurt Radeon Technologies Group in a way that AMD has no clue. Paul and I talked about this on the Techonomics podcast. If Intel can retake the gaming performance crown by a decent enough margin and offer decent enough value on that category, basically DIY gamers are just going to jump ship back to Intel, and then there's no reason to buy Radeon graphics cards at their current prices. I don't know what they're doing, but they're literally destroying the entire goodwill that they built up with things like Ryzen and Polaris all the way up until now, and they're just pushing the DIY gamer, that's us, the enthusiast gamers who build their own stuff. They're pushing us away and just saying, nah, we don't need your money. We want to get the uninformed masses. We want their money. Problem is, AMD doesn't have the uninformed masses. Nvidia owns that market. Nvidia's marketing is infinitely better. There's just no way that AMD is going to be able to get away with this. And the trouble with that is, if they keep doing stupid things like this, eventually Nvidia is just going to be the only game in town. Unless Intel magically does something, which we'll tackle that later. Because I can't see this working out for AMD long term. So for me, this is really just kind of like the final nail in the coffin where AMD's giving us the finger, telling us, hey guys, we don't need your business. And realistically, that's fine. I just won't be buying your products until you figure out your place in the market, your second place. Start acting like it. You better be offering better value than your competition. Who's the market leader, who has better features, more advanced features, more mature features than you have. So either AMD, well, this is mostly for Radeon. So Radeon Technologies Group, like I said, know your role, shut your mouth, and start offering products that make sense. Otherwise, I can't recommend them. And you guys, let me know how you feel about this in the comment section. I'm not buying any of this stuff anymore from these guys. Nvidia, if they make something that makes better sense, I would either go that route or I'm just going to probably stick with secondhand older stuff. So personally, I'm more interested in an actual 5700 XT than this GPU. And that's just a real shame. I was very excited for this, just like I was with the RTX 3060, but I'm more disappointed with this card than I was with the RTX 3060 because at least that one you got more VRAM. This card right here is basically the same price for virtually the same performance, and AMD just isn't in the position where I think they can start acting like Nvidia, but they are. And you know what I say? Stop buying their stuff. Stop buying their CPUs, stop buying their GPUs, just stop supporting AMD altogether. Just buy some old stuff on the secondhand market and let these guys figure it out. That the DIY market, once we dry up and we stop promoting their stuff, hey, you know, their stuff's just going to rot on shelves. We are the main reason why they're still in business, and they owe us more than their shareholders some sort of product upgrade that makes sense to keep us incentivized in buying their stuff. So if they want to go with their shareholders, more power to them. Let their shareholders buy all their products. But I don't think that that's going to be enough. So, alrighty guys, I'm pissed off about this whole thing. I want to hear your thoughts though in the comment section below. $379. This is just far worse than I thought. I thought I was going to be pissed at $350. But $380, this is just a joke. I know this isn't like an upbeat video, but at the same time, people need to know that this is a real problem. As I just showed you, 1080p gaming is now $400 when we brought it all the way down to sub 200. AMD themselves did it. This is a real problem. The community needs to get on board with this. We need people to start pushing back. Stop buying current gen stuff over the MSRP. So this way, it's a fake MSRP. If nobody bought them besides miners, well, just wait until the miners sell everything on the secondhand market, and then you'll get it for 50% below MSRP. Just hold the line. If it's not MSRP or lower, just don't buy stuff. It's that simple. And if you need it for work, that's a different thing. If a GPU makes you $1,000 a week, that's a whole different story. But I'm talking to people where this is a luxury item, where all you do is play video games. Don't buy GPUs at above MSRP unless it's like some crazy liquid cooled edition. You know, if it makes sense, like if the company puts more into it than the reference design, that's fine. But for the most part, stop supporting these guys in this way. And that's the only way moving forward. Personally, like I said, I think I'm just going to stick with secondhand stuff. And that's going to be the end of it for me. I think I'm done with new upcoming stuff. I'm interested in the technology, but if this is the way prices are going, I'll wait 2 or 3 generations before upgrading. And if that means I have to run my games at lower resolutions or just wait a few years to play games, that's where I'm at, boys and girls. Once again, want to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Are you at the same point I am? Are you fed up with this as much as I am? I'm very curious to see what the sentiment is out there in the YouTube community. So thank you all for your support. That's really all I have for you guys here today. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.